wireless mics, and he went, I'm like, what do you mean? Ooh, I sort of paid about 150 quid for these things. He's like, I won't use them.
That should be better. And that can hide. Where are you going to put it?
It was sort of framed out anyway.
Okay, so or you can hide it down here.
Well, I'm going to leave that there just so I can keep an eye on it. Well, I'll hide it here so nobody can.
And then you get up and you realise you're attached to all sorts of...
That's why I made sure I got ones with about 6 feet worth of wiring on it. So,
I mean, how noticeable is that?
No,
okay.
Not really.
Yeah, it's still running.
Yeah.
Good. Right, so where do I start? That is a question. Firstly, thanks for sitting down and having a conversation and whatnot. It's been a few years since we bumped into each other.
Yes.
How's things with Bad Moon? Because that's where we met. I was on the film set and everything. It was really cool.
It's kind of being done. It's just kind of a bit stuck in edit at the moment. It's with the editor. He's very, very busy doing big things. And I'm just so busy at the moment. I can't chase him up. I haven't got time at the moment to chase him up. So it's one of those things that I keep thinking I must give him a shout and must try and sit down with him. And it's just no time. Or any time I'm free, he seems not to be. Vice versa. So it will get done. It's just kind of a slow process. I mean, to start with, he got the first little bit kind of done, and then it's just kind of stalled. But we'll get there.
This was the one with the ferrets involved.
Oh, the ferrets.
What's the ferret story? Because I remember seeing some updates, and it was we need ferrets. We've got ferrets, and then there was pictures of ferrets.
Do you know? I nearly had a pet ferret. I'd cast a guy because it was set in Bulgaria. The idea of the film, I was actually in Bulgaria filming something else. Came up with an idea. We did a little bit of found footage stuff over there. Came up with the idea, wrote around it, and there was an actor I knew who had a ferret, and I needed a kind of creepy guy in forest, and we were filming here in England for Bulgaria. And I didn't hear from him the week we were filming, and he had a ferret. He had the shotgun for a prop. He's not creepy, by the way. The guy's not actually a creepy guy. He's a very nice guy. But he'd had a car accident, so his daughter got in touch with me and said, but you need to, he says, just go and film without him. And I was like, okay, I was glad he was okay. But, replacing a man is quite easy. A man with a shotgun, also not as difficult. Man with ferret, that's quite hard. An actor with a ferret. So myself and my friend Alison sat down. I was at hers going, what am I going to do? I mean, I was sitting there. She was being the sensible one, actually Googling where you might get a ferret. I was Googling pink ferret cages, thinking I'm just going to have to get a ferret and it's going to have to live in my house and I'm going to have a ferret. And in the end, the Essex Ferret Welfare Society came through, and not only did I get one ferret, they sent me about 4 on the day.
Wow.
And then it's really hard.
Did you have to choose which ferret's the best?
This is the thing. How am I supposed to do that? It's really hard casting a ferret. And we got a new actor in. Who was actually a fight choreographer as well, and he has a weaponry, so he had all the the gun props and things we needed. And he used to have a ferret, so he's used to ferret handling, and he picked it. I let him cast the ferret, and he picked the one that looked most like his one. So, and it has a nice story actually, because there was a picture of the ferret when it was rescued, and I think it had been attacked by a fox or something, and its eye was all ugh. And then it was now it's a film star.
It's a movie star. It's got its own IMDb page.
It's got its own IMDb page. I can't remember what his name was now.
Did the guy have to break the news to the other 3 ferrets that they were unfortunately
I wasn't actually filming an awful lot in this scene, so I just played with them the whole time. I was like, get to play with ferrets in the forest. Best day ever.
What would Dolly the dog have thought if you'd had gone on with a ferret?
Dolly wouldn't have liked the ferrets, if I'm honest. She doesn't really like dogs. She doesn't think she is one.
She's okay with people?
Yeah, loves people. All she wants is the cuddle. She won't play with toys. She won't play with other dogs. She's not interested.
Has Dolly appeared in any of your...
She was in Serial Caller. She was in Serial Caller. She was in Serial Caller more than I wrote her in the script. She was meant to be in it a very, very small bit, but our investor owned a dog boutique. So he wrote a scene in the dog boutique, which wasn't an original scene at all. So he'd get his dog boutique a bit of advertising, and so Dolly got a whole extra scene.
Oh, I thought she was quite impressed with
that. Well, she wasn't, because I put her in a dress. Put her in a dress and a bow on her head. She wasn't impressed at all. She's not one for clothes, is Dolly.
No.
Chi-Chi's good with clothes. My Chihuahua, she'll wear dresses happily.
Well, Annette, you used to dress your cat up in dresses when you were a child. When you were 7, you used to dress animals up.
I feel like that's okay.
That's okay.
If they like it.
Yeah.
You can tell. Like, Chi-Chi, if she gets cold, she'll always like to be hot. Like, they'll bury, and the hottest day, they'll be under the duvet. She gets cold, so she will be happy. She'll pick her feet up to put in the jumper. It's just so you know she likes it. Otherwise, she wouldn't do it. She'd bite you. But Dolly just kind of runs, hides under the table, growls at you until you take it off. She won't walk. She won't move.
So you know.
So I know. Yeah. So I don't knit her any anymore. I'm done with the knitting for the Dolly.
So I was watching an episode of The Fixer last week, which features you. But that was your first on-screen appearance? According to IMDb, it was your first on-screen appearance.
Yeah, but you never know what the dates on there are doing. No. I don't think it... Yeah, on TV it was. It was a tiny little part. And I didn't have any lines or anything.
Because I was watching for you. I knew you were in it. And I'm watching for you and I'm like... This episode's kind of getting towards the conclusion, and
I've
then
never
you wander
seen it,
on screen.
actually.
If you never watched it, I can arrange that. I've got the box set.
I think somebody sent me. Someone recorded it and sent it to me, but I've never actually watched it.
Is my iPad over there?
I've never actually watched it. Oh no, I don't want to watch it now. It's cringy. I was going to say I hate watching myself.
I took a still picture, and you walk onto the balcony.
Yeah, I remember doing it. Actually, it was like a few days filming, and it was actually in East London, so it was the Troxy we filmed in, so it's quite local, so easy for me to get to. Very early starts, I remember, and I remember leaving. I had a little MX-5 at the time, and I'd driven and left my lights on. At the end of the day, my battery was flat. Oops. So luckily, there were nice people on set to save the day.
So how did that come about? I mean, you'd done the photo modelling for years before.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't the first thing I did. The first thing I did was Just for the Record, which was kind of disastrous, but like that was through Facebook. I was modelling at the time. Hadn't even been to drama school, hadn't even thought about it, and got a message on Facebook from the director saying, fancy doing this? And I was like, okay, it's kind of good money. All I have to do is play a stripper. How hard can it be for a glamour model at the time? And then that's kind of what spurred me to decide I wanted to go to drama school and I wanted to train. And that was being on set there. So that was actually my first thing. Right. And then The Fixer was just kind of after that.
Because I watched Just for the Record as well, which I still... It's got an amazing
so
cast. And there's just something about it which just seems a little bit... I don't know. There's nothing... normally you can watch a film and you go, I'm not a fan of this film because... There isn't anything specific about Just for the Record. I think it's just because it's so different. But
I've made friends that I'm still friends with on that. Yeah, so there's
amazing
that.
Cast.
Yeah,
really
there's that.
Cast.
I mean, it was just being on set there because that was, again, I was there for a few days and it was just being on set watching everything else because, again, I wasn't in it very much. But that's what really made me go, I think this is what I want to do next.
Were there any people in that cast where you're like, wow, it's them? Because it's got a lot of that sort of calibre cast in it, all in different...
No. I mean, I didn't meet everyone. I wasn't like... I think I had a scene with Dani that I think it's like a TV CCTV thing. I think that's all that ended up in there of that scene. Rick Mail, I had to give Rick Mail a lap dance. Yeah, that was. And I remember watching him in Bottom when I was about 10 or something. So that, for anyone, I guess Rick Mail was like
definitely the sort of most surreal.
Sitting in makeup, watching him have his makeup done and kind of chatting, so he was kind of the biggest thing there, I think, for me. I know Victoria Silvstedt was in it. See, coming from the glamour, she was amazing, but I didn't see her, I didn't meet her.
And then I think the film where I think it was around the fall of the Essex Boys, How to Stop Being a Loser, around the time when those films came out, were the first ones where I'm like...
Can you see how typecast I was at that time? I only ever played a stripper, and then I think in How to Stop Being a Loser, I had graduated to harem member, still in a bikini, so,
Hanging around with Martin Kemp.
I know, he's lovely.
Yeah. Which is good, but that was the first time I'd encountered Dominic Burns and Craig Conway and a lot of these people who have then gone on to sort of now be able to sit down and have a conversation with them. Yeah,
have you done one of these with Dominic?
I've not done one with Dominic.
No, he's always in LA
a few times, and Dominic's like, I'll do one. But trying to pin him down is a nightmare because he's always off doing various different things. But at some point, I've definitely done the one with Craig Conway. Dominic said yes. He's like, I'm in. It's just a case of settling down and scheduling it. So you do the film, you do Just for the Record, then you go off to drama school.
Yes.
What were the biggest things that drama school taught you that you weren't aware of beforehand?
Well, I went and did a week, like a little thing in the summer, one summer, and did like a week's course, and that kind of taught me all how much you didn't know. So then I auditioned for the full-time course. And I actually auditioned to do the 2 years, I thought. And really, because I didn't want to be one of those people. I mean, there's plenty of actors that have had no formal training and are amazing. I think coming from modelling a background, you're not going to get taken seriously. I thought, I want to train properly. I want a bit of discipline here. And I auditioned for the 2 year course. And they said, well, because you've kind of done bits and pieces, you've kind of, even in the modelling world, you're kind of used to that kind of industry, you can do the 1 year. Because I think the first year and the 2 years is very like nurturing and stuff, and I think I've lived a bit, so I didn't need to do that so much. So you touch on everything. It was a screen acting school called ISSA, so International School of Screen Acting, and you touch on everything that other schools do. You do your Shakespeare, and you do all those kind of things, and the voice and everything, but you do a lot of camera work. A lot of everything's on camera, whereas a lot of drama schools is very theatre based. So, it taught you camera angles, that kind of thing. And we did writing there. I wouldn't have ended up writing had I not have gone. I didn't even think I'd be able to write. So, but we had to. So it worked.
So what was it like writing your first?
I'd had ideas.
It's a movie now. People
it
can
is.
watch
I think.
So
I used to work on like the daytime version of like your baby stations and stuff. And one of the producers was an actor, and we were on like a morning shift. No one calling, just kind of sitting there chatting to him. It's like, can you imagine what it'd be like if like one of the callers was a stalker? We had this chat and it was literally that, and kind of he was like, you should do it, we should do this would be good. So I kind of wrote some bits and pieces, and this is before I'd any kind of writing discipline. And then I went back to it after drama school, went back to it and thought, I'm going to try and put this into an actual script. And so a lot of the stuff used, apart from obviously not the stalky bit and the murder, there's a lot of the conversation things were things that really had, like there was a scene that the girls are talking about what's the weirdest thing like a caller or something sent you, and a lot of that was real. I never got sent a steak, somebody else got sent steak, but it did really happen, steak in the post, which is very weird.
Somebody out there is watching the film go,
yeah, a lot of it. A lot of the stuff was you should kind of steal from real life a little bit. So it was amazing. But then the script did get changed a lot. So what we ended up with. I learned a lot making that movie. I learned a lot of what not to do, and obviously you get an investor, and the final say is theirs. They rewrote the script. They cast a lot of it. So we lost a lot of kind of creative control on that one, but still it's a massive learning curve. Like to write a script, to get it made is amazing. I'd like to remake my own script with my original script. Like I hate remakes, but that would be the one. I'd actually like to do this again my way. The ending was completely different, the characters were different. So
is that something, you said you'd like to do it, is that something you genuinely really would like to do?
I would like, if I got funding again to do, obviously I've got other things I'd like to do, but if I got funding and was like, I've got some funding, I could do something, I would like to do it and remake it, but with my original, which is completely different, the ending's like, there's a lot different.
Would you be interested in directing it, do you think? Because right,
if I did it again, actor. maybe.
So is that something that you think you might at some point progress into becoming director? Because you've pretty much done everything else.
Never say never. Not at the moment, but never say never.
So you mentioned writing discipline. What is your writing discipline? So you think, right, I'm going to write a script. Is there a set thing that you do?
No, I don't have that. It was just about kind of plotting it and kind of writing your treatments. Like we learned all that kind of stuff, which rather than just go in and start writing scenes and sticking them together, it was a bit like cut and paste before. But it's like, learning how to actually write it and where to kind of go with the script. And it's that really. So I've got a few more ideas of things I'd like to get written, but I know people that literally have a timetable of their day and they're like, right, this is 3 hours that I'm going to do writing. But I have to be in the mood. Like I'm not a writer. That's not my main thing. So if I'm not in the mood, I can't do it. I'll sit there staring at a laptop and nothing will happen. Like I have to, but then I can sit there and write 10 pages or something one day. So I don't have that kind of discipline because it's not really what I do. It's not my main thing. That's just kind of something that's happened a couple of times.
So one of the things that I struggle with is when somebody comes up to me and they're like, oh, hi, you're such and such, or I introduce myself and then they go, what do you do? And it's like, what happens if so you meet somebody and they go, oh, so what's your name?
If my business card doesn't say anything on it. Somebody actually said this to me the other day. They were like, your business card doesn't say what you do. It's got your name and your email. I'm like, with giving someone my card, they should know what I do. They don't, I don't just like give out my card to everyone. So, I don't know. I say actress, model, presenter, unicorn.
Unicorn. Yeah. Which your Twitter bio says
it's on there.
Unicorn.
What do you do? I'm a unicorn. Well, no, yesterday I was like a fairy queen. Yesterday, I live in a crazy place, crazy neighbours. They've hidden fairy doors everywhere. So yesterday I was out pouring glitter on fairy doors. So yesterday I was like a fairy queen. I do all sorts of things.
Add that to business card as well.
A little bit of burlesque now. Trained last year in that. That's but again, it's not I don't have time to come up with loads of new acts.
Croupier. Qualified croupier, I believe. I am.
That's kind of my presenting job as well. So I'm not qualified. I couldn't work in a casino. I can't do the maths. I have no clue. I'd be giving people all sorts of chips back for their winnings. But I do all the online stuff, so it's like the presenting, and I would be awful. I can't keep the ball in the wheel. Oops. Literally, I think there's a problem with gravity where I work. I've said this. I'm like, I don't think it's me. No, I think there's a problem with gravity. Yeah, I've shoot it across send it into orbit quite often. So but yeah, blackjack, baccarat, roulette. It's cool though.
Because your sort of work slate is crazy. You look at the amount of projects that you've got coming up. Let alone the ones you've done in 12 years or 10 years.
Yeah, well, I graduated from drama school in 2010. I've just literally come back from 2 holidays with some of my drama school friends, and we were like, we graduated in 2010, and that's it's gone so quickly. So quickly.
So what do you do with your downtime, if in fact you get any downtime other than sit down and have a conversation? I have dogs. Yeah. So I spend time with the dogs. I'm really boring now. I don't really go out anymore. I used to be a bit of a party girl. That's kind of... I hate the thought of going out. I'm like, no, I sit indoors with my dogs. I'll read books, watch movies, water my plants. I'm really dull. I'll go to the gym, do a bit of yoga. And then where I live, a lot of my neighbours are my really good friends. So we just spend a lot of time together there. So my best friend lives in the same building. He's 50 steps between my apartment and his. So I really don't have a lot of time though. So when I do, gym, friends. Yeah, look at your social media thing. At silly o'clock, it'll be right. I'm off to work now.
Yeah, my alarm goes off at 4:15 in the morning. Not always. That's if I have a morning shift, but I generally do get the morning shifts. So 4:15 in the morning. It's fine in the summer. You can go and walk the dogs at 5 and it's daylight. It started getting dark now. It's that time of year where it's going to get dark. It's the time of year I start turning up at work in my onesie. Yeah. Turn up in the briefing going, I can't take this off yet. I'm too
a hat with ears or something.
No, I'm like a dinosaur. One day I'm a dinosaur, next day I'm a flamingo or a giant strawberry.
Unicorn's not a fan of the film.
I have got a unicorn onesie. Of course I've got a unicorn onesie. Someone bought it for me. It was a really good present.
So I was looking over which I printed out your filmography, but it's over there, so I'm not going to cut across. But what sort of films that you've done so far have a real soft spot for you?
Well, Axe to Grind I shot in LA, so that was an amazing experience. Being out in LA, just being warm on set and being able to sit outside and watch the hummingbirds and stuff. And we filmed in this huge old kind of hospital, so closed down, and it hadn't been a hospital for 13 years, so thick with dust, and that was an amazing experience. And got to do a little bit of sightseeing. Didn't have a lot of time off, but a little bit of sightseeing. So there's that. Christmas sleigh was in Bulgaria. That was fun. So it's fun when you get to go away and you kind of live on set. And also banjo. Yeah. Although banjo we shot in and around, I think it was Yorkshire.
I think it was because we met Liam.
Yes. I want to say Yorkshire, but I think
it's Sheffield. Yeah, that's where it's because Sheffield wouldn't show his film.
No.
He applied to show it, and they're like, no, and he's like, what? But I'm from here. Exactly. Why are you not showing this film? But that does look like a bonkers film.
Have you not seen it? I've not yet
seen it yet. There was a screening on at the Derby Film Festival, and we had to go do something else. So we met up with Liam afterwards and we had a good old chat. Seriously, we'll watch it.
And he couldn't send you a copy?
No, I will chase
it was on Amazon. I don't know if it's still on Amazon to watch.
No, they took it off.
Did they?
Yeah, they because it was too graphic.
Too graphic.
Because I remember seeing some of his social media ones. It's like, seriously, use that as a marketing thing. They're too graphic for Amazon.
I'll have to tone it down. But that was fun. We had 2 cottages. We were staying on a farm. So it was like having a family. It's like being on a school trip and you're all kind of living together or something. And then I'd get up in the morning and go and have a cup of tea outside, and it was just a field of cows. So I sit on the fence having a chat to the cows. That's the kind of thing I do. I come from the country. I come from the countryside, so I felt at home. But that was really cool. And I've got friends from that, like Serena, David Curtis, who was in Bad Moon Rising as well. So he played James in Bad Moon Rising. And Dan Palmer is good friends. So, but he's doing really well. He's not just filmed something else. So
it's a small world.
Yeah, I've kept in touch with them, and I've seen Liam a few times when he's in London. We usually catch up.
Well, we saw his Q&A for Banjo because we sort of headed in and caught the tail end of it and saw him stand on stage and a quick chat. But he looks like he's as crazy as anything in a good way.
Yeah. So no, I've kept in touch with a few of the Banjo family. But that was those are the ones really.
I've kept in touch with some of the Bad Moon people.
You have?
Alistair, who I speak to.
See, I hardly hear from him now. I think he's in Australia at the moment. I caught up with him actually my drama school reunion. Well, they have one like every couple of years. They have a party, and I met him at, I think it was like their 12-year anniversary or something party. That's where I actually met Alistair, because he was there after I was. But yeah, like we said, we'd catch up when he gets back from Australia.
But yeah, it's a very small world. It's like a lot of the films. I look down your filmography and like,
this is it.
He's also connected with it. So.
And I think because I do a lot of horror, everyone tends to know everyone, and it's kind of like I didn't set out just to do horror. It's kind of worked out that way. But I love horror. If I had a choice, that's what I'd do. But I've got a couple of things that I'm writing, or ideas of things that at some point when I find time I will write, and they're not really horror. So we'll see. Because
I was going to ask, it's like, what is the appeal with horror? Because you've done comedy, you've done drama, you've done thrillers, but predominantly it is horror.
Well, I've always liked horror films. I think growing up, It, that's out at the moment. The first horror film I watched, and I was 8, and I was in Canada, and I was with my cousins, and I think one was a year older than me, one's a little bit younger, like 6 months younger or something. And I feel like the one younger than that might have been there, but we were all in the basement, which was kind of where the kids used to watch TV. And we started watching that, and I don't think our parents had a clue what we were watching down there. I was terrified. I had to sleep with the light on for the rest of the time I was there. And I just don't know, since then, and then growing up, I just always loved horror films. And my parents didn't watch them, so I didn't get to watch a lot. So a lot of the old ones from the 80s, like I've seen the remakes before I've seen the originals. So things like Nightmare on Elm Street and, all of that. I've seen the remakes before, even Fright Night, before the originals. But yeah, I've always loved horror. And I like the 90s, when I was like a teenager, late 90s, like Screams and I Know What You Did Last Summer, Urban Legend, The Craft. They're all still some of my favourite films. Final Destination, which like I've watched them over again. So I like that kind of 90s style horror. And
your favourite film? Wizard of Oz, which is...
Wizard of Oz, yeah.
Pretty much, I would class that as a horror film, wouldn't you?
It was, was it? Yeah. Women, there's a brilliant write-up that someone actually posted yesterday. What was it? It's like a girl comes into town and kills somebody and then forms a gang to go and kill again. Yeah, that's exactly what she's
Wizard
done.
Of Oz, yeah.
Dorothy kills the Wicked Witch of the East and then forms a gang to go and kill the Wicked Witch of the West. That's definitely a horror film. The witches are scary. What else is scary? The Munchkins. Flying monkeys.
Scary.
Tornadoes at the minute.
Yes.
But yeah, pretty much everything about that film is pretty scary. So what is it that makes that your favourite film? Did you watch it at a very early age and it's become a...
No, I was never sick when I was young. I never got a day off school for like being sick. If I had a cold, I was sent to school. Like I never got, I just never got ill. So I think one day my mum just kind of took pity on me for never getting a day off and like kept me off school for a day and like blankets on the sofa and popcorn and sweets and like she'd bought it on video. There was videos then. And we sat and watched that and then I just loved it. But I think even if you watch it now for the first time, if you'd never seen it, it works. Even though the sets are cardboard, even though, you can tell it's not real, it works. And even if the more recent Oz film they did, I liked it because it's set in the world of, but it just don't have the magic. I think the singing, the dancing, I don't know, everything about it is magical.
It's the same with the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, isn't it?
Oh, the remake was terrible.
You watch the remake and you go, the graphics are, but it hasn't got the charm.
It hasn't got the magic. A remake like that was pointless. It's been done. It was, is my issue with remakes. I know the production companies know that people are going to go and watch it and they're going to make the money. But if it was done and it was done well, then you don't need to remake it. It's done. And then if it was done badly, it's probably not going to be any better the second time around. It's kind of pointless. See, maybe if it's something like It, it's a younger generation that are now going to watch it. So I thought it was very Stranger Things. It had that kind of vibe. So it was kind of 80s-esque, but obviously for now, so people would watch it for, you know, the new actors and what have you. But it's
made a lot of money though.
This is it. It's made a lot of money. Well, of course, it's a sequel because they've only made half a film. The same as the first one was a mini-series, wasn't it? Not a film. But yeah, I mean, you're not going to beat Tim Curry. That's what a lot
of people have said. As much as they love
the guy, I mean, it's not his fault.
Tim Curry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the actor's fault, but it's iconic. It's like, you know, if they try and remake The Wizard of Oz without Judy Garland.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm a little worried about this Mary Poppins, although I do want to see it.
Yeah, because that's a sequel.
It's a sequel,
rather than a remake. So maybe that might.
So
get them a little bit out.
It won't be Julie Andrews, but I think she'll be good. And I'm excited about Jumanji.
Yeah, you're excited about Jumanji.
Well, The Rock's in it, so what's not to be excited
The Rock's in like everything, isn't it? I don't know how.
I've got to say, I just watched Baywatch last week and I really liked it.
I watched it because somebody at work said, "Watch it. It's really funny." I'm like, "Yeah, but is it really?"
Yeah.
And the first half hour, it was just constant laugh out loud. The deck chair.
I did like it.
I was howling, and
it was uncomfortable to watch, but I liked it, and I knew it was nothing like the series, but I liked it. I kind of wish I was in it. I've got the swimsuit. I have a Baywatch swimsuit, and my mum only recently sewed the patch on there for me.
They will probably do a sequel.
They will. How can we get me in this?
I don't know. We shall try. Get the Rock on the phone.
Get the Rock on the phone.
Somehow. Dwayne, if you're watching this, Baywatch 2, please.
Yes.
With your career and stuff, I have all these questions in my brain and they're all randomly out of order, which is great. But are you at where you want to be with your media career, or do you plan it, or do you just drift I drift?
Go along with it. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's no plans put in place. Like, I mean, to be honest, I haven't even got a recent show reel. My show reel that I had was when I left drama school, and I'm blonde, and it was with the bits I did then. So I was waiting really for things to be released so I can use the footage, and then it's like one comes out and you think, oh, I'll just wait for that next thing. So I'm trying to wait for Cute Little Fuckers to come out because I think that I'd like the footage from that for my show reel, which apparently is meant to be this year. They also said that last year, and so I don't know, but apparently it is this year now. So I kind of think wait for that, get my show reel put together. I don't even have an agent. Everything I've done has been kind of either word of mouth or just applying for things myself.
Well, look at your filmography, it's working. You know, you're not sat around twiddling thumbs.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'd like to be working more in film. Like last year I had quite a quiet year. This year I'm doing Pumpkins, actually. I'm in the middle of Pumpkins at the moment, which Maria Lee Metheringham is directing and has written. And I was meant to work with them a couple of times. We've been casting things together because she's an actress as well. And, you know, what it's like, things haven't happened. So we haven't ended up working together. And then she's decided to put this together. She's like, do you want to do this? Yes. So I filmed part of it. And I'm actually going back in a couple of weeks to finish. So there's that. And I'm in the middle of something else, which is not a horror. It's like a crime thriller. But my role in it is horror-y. Get some horrible stuff. So, so this year I've got bits and pieces happening. And I did something for James Crow earlier this year.
Nightmare on
34th Street, yeah. So that was fun. Because I'd met James before, and I think what had he written?
He'd done...
Was it either Riot or...
Witching Tree. He'd done one of the...
It was one of those,
ones, I think it was.
I lose track
Riot,
of what's what. Yeah,
or GBH as it was originally known.
Yeah.
So that's where I first became familiar with his
I'd met him there and then hadn't worked with him since. So
he's a busy guy.
He is. We're trying to actually sit down together. We've got some ideas for something, but we haven't managed to do it. So when we're both free,
because I've got these printed out because I thought I want to do a poster for every one of these because I want them. You know, sometimes I'll sit at home and think, I don't know where I'm headed, and then if I look at these, I'll go, actually, what I'm doing seems to work. So, but I'm no use at doing the graphics on it. So I emailed the picture over that he supplied for me to a filmmaker called Neil Johnson, who's a big American/Australian/British film director, and he's the one that puts the graphics on. And he'd sent it back to me, and he went, "Has Dani got a show reel?"
I need to see.
So then I messaged you.
I need to put one together.
Have you got a show reel? And no, you haven't got one done, but she will get one done. That's more.
Well, I need to find an editor that's not wrapped up in doing loads that can do this.
Which is kind of like this.
Next on my list.
This is why I love doing these sort of things, because it's now Neil Johnson knows who you are, and the first ever episode I'd done was with an actress that is in the film Rogue Warrior, that he'd science fiction epic. He does a lot of sci-fi stuff, crazy spaceships and robots and all that sort of stuff. And I'd sat down with her, and where am I even headed with that? Can't remember. But I'd sat down with Neil. Yeah, that was it. So I'd spoke to a publicity company who Tracy had put me in touch with, and this guy, very, very smart, represents a lot of big people. He said what I would do with these episodes is I would stack them all up till you've got about a dozen, and then go to somebody like Collider or IGN or something like that and go, here's all these things. And I'm like, I don't like the fact of sitting on these things for 2 years. So I'd put the first one out with Tracy Birdsall out there for people to see, and one of the actresses that I'd sent it to potentially do a future episode was an actress called Marcia Doval, who she was also in How to Stop Being a Loser. And she'd come back and she'd watched it and she went, oh, I love that story that Tracy said, and how she does this technique with what was the thing with the ice?
It was the ice to stop you from sweating.
Some sort of thing that she does with ice to stop her sweating on camera. And Marcia had come back saying, she puts her fingers in the ice and it cools her down.
Doesn't that make you pee if you sleep?
I think if it's a left hand, I think if you do it on the don't fall asleep during the conversation.
Don't want to sleep with your hand in a bucket of ice.
And she'd come back and she said, I really love that tip. So then that justified me not wanting to sit on these things. And I went back to this PR company and went, look, this person knows that person now and they love it, so I don't want to sit on them.
Yeah, of course.
Or the fact that now Neil Johnson is aware of you and he's now getting you down his show reel.
So I need to put a show reel together.
So Neil,
I've got that. You have this list of things you need to do. I need more hours in the day, more days in the week.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone is the same, but sometimes I feel like when's my next day off?
It's like October or something.
Somewhere like October. Yeah, we're in the beginning of September. So I was away, so I've had squeezed a couple of little holidays in. Came back, I've worked presenting every day. I'm off today for this, and back at work tomorrow. I feel like I do have Monday off, but now I think I've got a meeting.
Just make it a short meeting.
Yeah, I think it was with someone I know, friends. I think I can maybe make it a drinks meeting.
Exactly, and then you can
combine
still potentially have a free Monday.
And that's about that's like an idea for some charity thing that we've had. So we'll see.
More hours in the day would be.
More hours in the day,
would be good. But yeah, that's the whole Neil Johnson. Every time I do a podcast, I always make the purpose of mentioning Neil, because I know he listens to them super fast. So he'll get
I might have the ice story wrong. It might not be the hand. So don't listen too hard.
I think it was the ice thing.
It was somewhere.
It was something like that, and then somebody else had picked up on it, going, and they're like, right, I'm not sitting on these episodes now. But you've mentioned you learned things to do and things not to do when you were in drama class. What things did you learn to do?
No. A serial caller. What not to do? Oh, just don't lose creative control of your own projects. Don't let other people do the casting. I'm quite a control freak, so I do like to do things myself, of course. And I think if you've written something as well, then you unless you're writing it and you're giving it to someone else to completely do it, and then you're no longer part of it, it's hard to then, people are changing things and people do it. And so, if I was going to produce something again that I'd written, I'd keep it as I wanted it and kind of work more on making sure it's, But then, we were so busy on that, I'd hand it over to the director, and then, your ideas, you may think you're on the same page sometimes and you're not necessarily. So, just do everything myself.
I did the Comic-Con film, and then I sent it to about 4 or 5 people to watch it. One of them came back with, I liked it, but I've got some notes if you want them. Went, no. I'm
not interested in your notes.
He said, I'm not being horrible. He said, but I've just got some suggestions. I went, oh no. I said, because if they're really good suggestions, then I'll end up changing this thing that, as far as I'm concerned, I'm finished with. Yeah. And it needs to be what I've envisioned it to be. It's not some $200 million perfectly polished epic. It's this thing that I've put together, and it needs to be what I've put together. So I very politely went, no, I don't need any notes.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he took it quite well.
And that's the same. It's like when you do things and then you get critics and you're like, can't please everyone.
No.
like after Banjo, I remember like saying, like people were saying I wouldn't, and it's people, and it'd be people that I've known, people who talk to you, people who've like wanted things from you before, and they're like, that was the character. I mean, it's meant to be. And I said to Liam, I was like, well, and he was like, no, yeah, that's exactly how I wanted it. He was like, that was, you know, because otherwise I'd have directed you. And he was like, that's what I wanted for that character, because it was meant to be a bit of a weird, wonderful world. When you see it, you'll know Henenlotter. It was, yeah, it wasn't set in like the kind of reality. So it was, you know, everyone was either over the top or, you know, not just like kind of normal, natural on camera. So
because he's a big trauma fan, isn't he?
Yeah, so yeah, there was a few people, and it had been people that you've maybe met at conventions who were really nice to you, and then they go and write something. And like, to start with, I was like a bit upset, and then I was like, oh, you know what? They can go and make a film. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, the Americans liked it, so then you're like, fine, the Americans liked it. Who cares?
Critics annoy me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, everyone's got an opinion, and people like different things. Some will like it, some won't. Yeah, you can't please everyone.
No.
I don't try.
I think with the things with critics, and I do a lot of podcasts, and generally mine are positive, but I have some of the co-hosts who will come on who aren't. And they drive me up the wall, because it's like, go make your own film, and if you do, why didn't you like it? It's terrible. What's terrible about it? Don't know. It's awful. Yeah, but what made it awful? Don't know. Just didn't like it.
Yeah, but then for everything, you know, for everything that someone doesn't like, somebody else will. It's, you know.
There's a lot of the, I saw what the director was trying to do and he just didn't quite. How do you know what the director was trying to do? It's like, or, you know, to use Liam, which I've not seen it, so I'm not having a pop at Banjo or whatever, but somebody may watch it and go, yeah, what the director was doing, it just didn't quite get it, did it? Well, unless you know Liam and you know what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
Get a grip. Stop being a horrible critic. Go make your own film.
This is it. Yeah, I mean, it was people. I mean, there were some really good performances in Banjo, and there were some that were very tough. And then, so mine maybe because it was less. Maybe I don't know. Liam was happy with it, so that's exactly. You know, that was the main thing.
So certainly with the British industry as well, I think I remember a time when British films were not very good.
Yeah.
You know, this was like 20 years ago, and then films like Shopping and Trainspotting and Shallow Grave all came out and the British film industry started to go up. What do you think the state of the British film industry is now? I personally love it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few people doing, you know, really good stuff, and film and also TV as well, like, you know, dramas now. A lot of them are American TV, I think, is film quality, isn't it? A lot of it. And I think the British TV is now becoming very good. And yeah, British film is growing. It's growing as an industry, and it's good. I mean, now people are travelling back and forth all the time, and it's, you know, getting their ideas together. So yeah, I think it's only going to get bigger.
It just needs, I don't know what it is, it's people always ask me why I focus on British films, and to me it's because they generally don't appear on the cover of Empire. So a lot of the public aren't even aware of half of these films that are out there that are really, really good. So they just, unless it's got a Marvel logo on it, or a Star Wars logo, or a Disney logo or something, they'll never heard of it. So I love being able to recommend movies. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice doing kind of the bigger films, but I like the independent stuff. I do. You've watched a lot more, haven't you, because of me sort of introducing you to them. You're like, what's this? Like Allies or whatever, which I think James Crow also worked on as well. So it was good. So what are some of your, we've mentioned Wizard of Oz. Yes. Some of your other wonderful favourite films.
Wonderful favourite, oh my God. When people ask you, it's so hard.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah, because there's so many. I mean, like Grease. Like, can you imagine if they did it on TV, didn't they?
Yeah.
I was like, what are my eyes being subjected to? There's me saying I'm a critic. Like, I don't like critics and things, but it was just don't remake it. And the Dirty Dancing one as well. Like, that made me sad of watching it. It's like, my eyes.
The Footloose one was pretty good though.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
It's not bad.
Is it not?
No, because I'm a big fan of the Kevin Bacon one, but it's like, you know what? I'll watch this remake, but it kind of
Have you done your 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Many times.
Yeah. How many degrees are you?
I think with Kevin Bacon, I think it's like 3 or 4 or something, I think. So it's... Okay. Because I'm fortunate enough to know a lot of filmmakers like yourself who know other filmmakers. It's quite...
Yeah.
Have you done yours?
I have, and it was just Lloyd Kaufman in the middle.
There you go.
From Banjo. So,
that's not bad.
No.
So you could technically do a 6 degree of Kevin Bacon, though? Because you know me?
Everyone can do one.
4 then. What are you, 5?
A 4 or 5, I think. I'll need to redo it at some point, I think. You just add one on and then you've got me. No. So favourite films, Grease, obviously, The Craft I loved, all that, like we've talked about, all the 90s kind of horrors. I've just gone completely blank. There'll be so many. Beetlejuice. Yeah.
Which, are they remaking or are they doing a sequel? What's happening?
They keep threatening to do it, don't they? But I think it's one of these films.
If Michael Keaton does it will be amazing.
Hopefully.
It would be amazing.
Could you think of anybody else who could do it if it wasn't Michael Keaton?
No.
I think I'd be struggling.
Yeah, just don't do it.
I remember hearing they were on about making Drop Dead Fred again. And you're like, how can you do that? And then somebody said it's Russell Brand. You're like,
oh God,
no.
It's like, that could. I'm not a fan of Russell Brand. Don't remake it. Would be the best.
Just don't remake it.
You can't remake Drop Dead.
But they do keep threatening to.
You will like Banjo though, if you like Drop Dead Fred.
I'm looking forward to it. It does make me nervous.
Like a grown-up.
It's
like a
very
grown-up
graphic, isn't it?
version. Yeah, you might want to go. Oh.
Yeah.
Pillow time behind certain bits. You'll be right. You'll laugh.
We shall check that out at some point.
Yeah.
But I had loads of questions. It was tons. I think we've covered a lot of them.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, your filmography is just,
I forget what I've done.
It's huge.
And then there's some that I'm sure there that haven't even happened.
Can I ask a question then?
Yeah, of course you can.
Who haven't you worked with that you'd like to work with?
This is so hard. The Rock.
Yeah, Baywatch 2 also.
Yeah, Baywatch 2, The Rock.
Neil Johnson.
Who have I not worked with that I'd like to work with? Joss Whedon. Yeah. Might as well just go big. Joss Whedon.
Be a big Buffy fan.
Oh my God, yes. I remember when the first episode aired in the UK, and I remember like watching it, just being like, "This is amazing." But I was only really a fan up until season 4, and then I kind of was like,
I've never seen season 7.
Cordelia left, and Angel left, and I kind of went with them.
Did you follow Angel over to the Angel series? I prefer that to Buffy.
I liked it. I just think without them, it kind of lost it. So I like the very early Buffy though. I did actually very briefly get to work with Anthony Head I was like an extra in something years ago, again before drama school. Free Agents, and I played a barmaid.
Nice.
And he was just Giles. He was like bumbly in English and British and very like. So yeah, but that don't even get like starstruck thing. I was like,
you're like, it's Giles.
Yeah. So
I think the times I've been starstruck, met Boise from Only Fools and Horses the other year, and I was hosting a Doctor Who panel, and he was on there. Other times I tend to just get starstruck afterwards. Well, I'm not going to make myself look like an idiot beforehand, so I'll do it afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've just sat down with such and such. That's absolutely insane. But Boise it got me on stage and ended up saying, yeah, this is pretty much the only time I'm stuck for words. And I got over it and stuff, but he was... And George A. Romero. I met about 10 years or so ago. This little fluffy sheep, little beanie baby sheep, and I took it around Comic-Cons. I'm like, oh, picture of a sheep, that's really cool. And I pitched Lamb of the Dead to him, and I've still got the picture. Oh. George A. Romero with his little fluffy sheep. So unfortunately, Lamb of the Dead one.
What was that one with sheep in?
There was Black Sheep.
Yeah.
Which was different.
So it just started raining really hard.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I timed that well, didn't I?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, halfway down the road.
You get drenched. But yeah, the weather's not as bad as it is in some parts of the world, is it?
This is true. We're very lucky. This is the thing about living in England. It is going to rain all the time. Yeah. But we don't really tend to have big disaster. No. Big disaster.
This is pretty much as bad as it gets, isn't it? Is that sort of weather.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad.
But I think, like, the rain got it in for me. Because it will, like, this time it was okay, but I'm literally... It'll be sunny, I'll leave the house, it'll rain, I'll get on the tube, it'll be sunny, I'll get off, it'll rain, and it's like, just want to kill my hair. I have issues with whoever's controlling the weather. I feel like they're out to get me a lot of the time. Today I was lucky.
They've missed you for now.
For now.
So is there any type of movie, for me, watching them, I'm not a fan of musicals, is there any type of genre that you would think, I don't know if I want to be in that type of film? Or are you just like, yeah, I'll give it a go, and if I don't like it,
I'd give it a go, I think. I'd try. I mean, I love musicals. I'm not really a singer. Not I can like do a bit of karaoke and stuff, but I'm not using it. But I'd love to do a musical. Like, I love those kind of old Hollywood films, sitting watching like Judy Garland and Marilyn Monroe and all that kind of old. I mean, because they were kind of, the acting was very different. It was very like, I don't know, nothing comes across that natural.
Yeah, it's very
a lot of the time, very
theatrical, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, because they went from theatre onto screen, but I like watching them just for the costume and the glamour and everything. I'd quite like to do a musical. Yeah, no, I mean, I'd give most things. I tend not to like really silly comedy, but then sometimes you're in the mood for it. I'd like to do a cartoon character. I'd like to voice something. I'd quite like to do a voice of a character. I think that would be fun. Yeah.
What sort of thing though would it be?
I don't know, like a little horror character, like a little cartoon vampire or something would be cool, or like a little cartoon bat.
That could work.
Would be fun.
Little cartoon Dolly the dog.
Quite close to being there.
Oh, right, okay. What's the clock on it? What's the time? The clock on it? Is it showing?
There isn't one.
Oh, there isn't one. That's okay. Yeah. We the first two of these things. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed when I was on the Bad Moon set is you go on some film sets and very serious, but there was an element of, I mean, everybody was being serious, but there was a lot of fun and happy nature going on in that. Is that generally what associated with horror films?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they get more stressful, but I think, I mean, working with Alistair, production side, we were very, he worked very hard. So by the time you got on set, everything was, in place. Like, you didn't have to panic about, this isn't done or that isn't done. I mean, I had my friends on there doing the catering and they were brilliant. So some of the best film set food I've ever had. I had like a conveyor belt of sandwich making and like, making kind of healthy food rather than, because usually you're living on like sandwiches, pizzas and crisps. Like, we had other stuff. So we were organised. So on set it was fine. I mean, I knew I'd worked with a lot of the crew before on various other projects. And I tend to do that if I'm, because you know how they work and you know that they will do the job and it will get done. And the cast, again, I knew some of them. So, and then between me and Alistair, he knew the others. So everyone was pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, you were there on the day. We had a big scene. We had a big scene, with a lot of people. I mean, I wrote my friends into that because as extras as well. Like, I was like, guys, and then there's a scene, you give too much away, but I have to get dragged somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, two of my friends did it. And I think Alistair was like, maybe be gentle with her. They were like, but because they're my friends, they'd know that they don't really have to be,
Because it was Sunday morning, and I remember trying to find a location because I was
you're like, where is this place?
Where is this place? I'm walking around 6:30 on Sunday morning. And a fox ran in front of me. I'm like, that's really weird.
Oh, see, that's Megan.
Is that Megan the fox?
Or Rawl. I don't know how to pronounce the name. There's a Norwich City player years ago called, I think it's Rawl Fox or something. And I don't know if the fox is a girl or a boy, but it's always about. So if it's a girl, it's Megan. If it's a boy, it's Rawl. I've named it either way.
Oh, it was definitely one or the other.
It's one or the other.
Just running it.
It's one or the other.
To a big sort of housing estate next to tower blocks. A fox runs in front.
Yeah.
That's a good sign. Found a location. I remember sitting down just watching people setting things up, and I'm like, it's really cool because it was the first proper film set that I'd been on. The previous two were like out in the middle of a forest type thing, and I'm like, I'm just going to pitch in. So within a few minutes, it was like, if you need me to move a box around, let me know.
Involved.
Ended up doing that. Was in one of the extra scenes, and I think it was Alistair went, I need somebody to do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. And I think I remember throughout the morning going, I'll do this. I don't mind. It was so much fun.
That was good, and I tried to as well. We tried to give everyone get a little bit of screen time, because even if you're going to come in and be an extra, it's nice to see yourself on there.
Some of my fondest memories, I think, and Alistair McNabb, who was there.
He's so sweet. He's such a nice guy. He's like, and he's up for anything. I think one of the days, I can't really tell you too much, but he went home in full makeup anyway, all the way to wherever he lives, which is not. I think it's a couple of hours from London. Imagine if he stopped at any circuses, he'd have gotten a look. But
because he's a tall dude as well,
with whatever makeup he was in.
Yeah. So that would have been fun. But I've kept in touch.
Bad Moon Rising maybe gives it away, but
yeah,
maybe a little bit.
Could be.
Maybe. Yeah. But yeah.
But no, he's somebody that I want to sit down and have a conversation with at some point.
He's very enthusiastic, which is it's good. Like I can't be bothered with people that aren't. I like people to have fun. Like I mean, I wouldn't be doing this,
No, you've got to have fun,
if I didn't enjoy it, because it's not the kind. It's not just a money job. It's not the kind of job you just do for the sake of it. It's like you have to enjoy it. So I kind of, yeah. I mean, I'd recast people in that film that kind of didn't seem that, and I was like, you know what? I'm not bringing them on set when I think there might be a problem. We're going to recast it. And Alistair, like the day before we got rid of somebody, and we changed one of the leads. And Alistair was like, yeah, I know, I'm not we're changing it. So I think dedication.
It's got to be the one.
You have to have dedication.
The film will live on for years and years and years. So if you have to have an awkward conversation with somebody for 10 minutes to preserve your film.
And if it's beforehand, you think, don't go into it with those people, change it. So it's a nice and comfortable atmosphere on set. And a lot of people did come and say, like, a lot of the crew, the ones I didn't know, they were like, this is like one of the nicest atmospheres on a set that I've been on. It's like, well, I don't see why they ever shouldn't be, really. If everyone's working, everyone's doing their job, then you can have fun.
But no, I think out of all the things that I've done, it's definitely up there with one of the fondest memories. If somebody's like, what's been some of your favourite things that you've done whilst you've done all the film publicity stuff? It would be that more.
No, I just need to get it finished for you all.
Just need to get it finished.
I've got people going, when is this coming out? I'm like, one day.
I've seen 3
I'll
films.
do it one day.
Can I watch them? Well, none of them are out yet. But I shot them years ago. Yeah, I did. And none of them are out.
The thing is, I've done some that I don't think I'll ever see the light of day. And there's a few, actually. So who knows? One of them, Convention of the Dead, who I've made really good friends on. And one of the girls in that, Ashley Lawrence, we cast in Serial Caller. And then 2 of the guys from that, 3 of the guys from that I'm still friends with, and they live not too far away, and we're supposed to be doing like a little series thing together. So that's kind of one of those on the cards for when we all have time, because they're doing something else at the moment. But yeah, don't ever happen to that film. So it happens. This is the only problem with the kind of low budget independent films. It's kind of sometimes people getting them finished doesn't happen.
What do you think the main reason for that generally is? Do you think it's a budgetary thing?
I think people either run out of money, if it's really low budget, or if it's or just time. I mean, like, I'll get Bad Moon Rising finished hopefully, but there's no time. Like, there's only one of me.
Yeah.
One of my friends has just done the London Brighton bike ride. I was like, I want to achieve something. I haven't achieved anything sporty, so I decided like Tough Mudder for me. So, I started trying to do running training and then injured myself. So now I have to wait.
Some people we work with on a day job, they did Tough Mudder, didn't they? How did they do on it?
They did the half one, though.
Yeah, I think I made it.
Yeah. And some of them never even trained. It's crazy. You got others who will be training for weeks and weeks.
Yeah, I think for the obstacles and things, you're just going to have to do it.
My son did it when he was in the army.
Yeah.
The full Tough Mudder.
Yeah, but then they're constantly training, aren't they? They're like...
Pink tutu. That's what he did.
He did it in a pink tutu.
He did it in pink tutu. They did it as a team.
Yeah.
And the team won, but pink tutu.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah.
Oh, what will I wear? Now you've given me, like, what do I wear? I haven't even thought of this.
Exactly.
I hadn't even thought of this. I've got a zombie flamingo costume. Maybe that can do.
That could work.
That's from a couple of Halloweens ago. Maybe that.
And will Dolly accompany?
No, they do it. Battersea just did a dog one, and dogs and people in mud and obstacles. My dogs wouldn't do that.
Would she do that? I'm not.
Well, no, actually, Dolly, if I did it, Dolly would be by beside me. She'd do it. She would do it. Chi-Chi, like, if I try and get her to go out in the rain, I'm like dragging her with a lead. Well, dragging, she's Chihuahua. I'm stronger than that. But she's like, I'm not going out. Like, she'll walk around puddles. We've got a big fountain that she'll just avoid in case the wind blows and water hits her. She'll get in a bath as long as it's hot water. Like, she'll get in a hot bath. But if you're in a cold bath, she'll just stand there shaking. Dolly climbed, well, they both climbed Snowdon. Chi-Chi climbed half of Snowdon, and then by the time we were getting up, it was very kind of, you're in a cloud, so you just kind of wet. It's like, it's not really rain, it's just you in a cloud. And Chi-Chi was not happy, and I bought little mountain jackets, but Dolly won't wear clothes, so she refused the mountain jacket. Chi wore hers until it got sodden, so I gave her Dolly's, and then that got sodden. So she ended up going in a rucksack and being zipped in, and she just had a little head and her feet like this, fast asleep with her little eyes closed. I did the rest of the mountain that way. Dolly, all on her own. There's only like a couple of bits that were really high that you had to like kind of pick her up for and put her on like the step or whatever it was, not step but like rock. But yeah, half the time she was like way ahead of me, like looking back, like, where are you, come on.
So she's definitely the tougher out of the two.
Yeah, because Dolly just likes being with people, so if you're doing it, she'll do it. And but by the time I got to, I was freezing, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to get off this mountain, they might have to like airlift me. And you weren't supposed to get the train with dogs. But the guy, I was just like, please. And he put them both in the rucksack and zipped them up. They had a breathing hole. Fast asleep, so he let us on. And all the way back down on the train, which was just like the best thing.
But you were saying you're not done in sports. I think climbing snow is pretty.
I got up. I didn't get down again.
Yeah, you got to the top.
I got to the top. I did. Once I was doing it, like I'm halfway now. I'm going to finish. It did took me 2 hours, just over 2 hours, I think. So getting up was fine.
I think you've done it now. People generally talk about people climbing up Everest. They don't talk about.
And then we camped, and I cried. We camped, and it was beautiful actually. At the bottom of the mountains, this crystal clear lake. We put all the champagne in the lake to keep it cool. But yeah, when you've got to the mountain, you've showered, you've got no hairdryer, and you're just damp. And I was like, I can't believe I'm camping, and it was terrible.
Should we climb Snowdon? No, you don't want to.
If you do it, but stay in a hotel.
Yeah, definitely.
Stay in a hotel. Like my job was blowing up the airbed, and by the time you slept on it, the puncher, and you just sleep on the floor. But we did have like little campfires. You could toast vegan marshmallows. It was fun.
So looking back on it,
yeah, vegan marshmallows.
Good times.
Because the real ones are not. Yeah, it's good.
Toughest film shoot you've ever been on?
Toughest film shoot. Well, I don't like being cold, so anything where it's very cold, I don't love. But I mean, Christmas Sleigh, we filmed it in Bulgaria, set in Scotland. They filmed it in Bulgaria because they wanted to guarantee snow. And we got there, and it was just unusually warm for February or something, and there was a little bit of snow, and we had to go actually right up in the mountains into Borovitz to actually get snow because there was no snow. I mean, it wasn't that cold because obviously if you're in mountains, you've got the sun and the snow in it, which was actually fine. So actually that wasn't that bad. I'm trying to think. I mean, generally, I'm not great at late nights. I get tired. Like a child, I don't like being cold. I don't like late nights. But yeah, nothing's really been that hard. I haven't had to do anything really like where you're like, I just want to get out of this. I've never.
I quit.
Yeah, no, I've never had anything like that. I'm trying to think back. Yeah, no.
Well, that's good. When you're doing Baywatch 2, it might get a bit too hot or whatever, so maybe you might.
That's not a thing.
No, you'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I don't believe in too hot.
Well.
No. No. Get me back to the sun somewhere. I don't think I was ever meant to live in England. I don't think I was born for this climate.
The weather's worse up north, though.
Yeah.
We used to live in Northampton. The weather was kind of like this as it is at the moment.
I do love England, though. I don't remember much else. I do love England. I can't really imagine living anywhere else, but I just don't think I was born to be here. So.
And you won't have any memories of Australia?
I don't
before
really
you moved
No,
over
exactly.
here.
I was too young, so I don't remember. But I just feel like I was born for that heat. So, but I don't like spiders. I'm scared of sharks.
No, I don't like spiders.
No.
What would you do? I mean, if somebody's written this really good role for you, and brilliant, and then there's a scene in it when spiders are all over you. How on earth would you?
CGI.
Would you right? These need to be
CGI.
Visual effects spiders.
Yeah, visual effects spiders, or a body double, or.
It's like, no, they have to be real spiders.
Find my doppelganger.
I don't want spiders.
No way.
That's mine.
Weirdly, I never used to be scared of them when I was younger. I don't know what happened. Now I just can't even. Actually, when we were on Banjo and we were staying on this farm, there were a lot of spiders. And then one day, we'd finished filming, and people were like, all just kind of chilling like downstairs, and they were like, "Oh, do you want a glass of wine?" And I was like, wasn't really gonna, and I was like, because you're tired, and I was like, you know what? Actually, I'll go and put my pajamas on, and then I'll come back down and I'll have a glass of wine before I go to bed. Luckily, I went upstairs to put my pajamas on because there was a spider walking across my pillow. So I'm like, if I hadn't have seen that, I could have gotten to bed. Like if I'd had a glass of wine and then gone to bed, I could have been killed. So I screamed, and all the boys came running. They came to save me. Yeah, I think Vito, and Clay came and saved me. I was like...
Would Dolly save you from a spider? No. Chi-Chi? Or not? No?
No, Chi-Chi tries to catch moths. I've never seen her go for a spider. I'm very lucky. Living in London, you don't get as many spiders. I grew up in the countryside, so like Norfolk, lots of spiders. But I think I've had about 4 in the 10 years I've been in my flat that I've seen.
That's not bad.
No. And then luckily, again, my neighbours are very, like, help, and banging on the door. Help me. Yeah. Yeah, no, I just thought there's no need to have that many legs. I just think it's unnatural.
No, and I mean, they go, if there's no spiders, then you'll have lots of flies.
Well, yeah.
Fly spray or whatever.
Exactly.
There are ways
I don't really get that many flies either. I live quite high up, so I'm quite lucky. But yeah, I'd rather have flies than spiders.
There's a guy we work with who's got a pet tarantula, and he's like, I'll bring it into work one day. I went, fine, I'll kill it.
I could be, if you had a tarantula there and you were holding it, I would be okay with that. If I knew you weren't going to put it on me.
Yeah.
I'd be fine.
Yeah,
like if you put it here, I'd probably, like, I wouldn't want to hurt it, but it would be your
You'd
fault.
have to.
It would be your fault. So I'd be okay with that. I went to an opening of like a Halloween thing, like a Halloween, like, they do the horror parks, like with the mazes and that stuff. It was one of these, I can't remember which one it was now, possibly Hops Farm or something in Kent. And they had this guy and had this box of like things, I think it's like a locust, it's like this big, and I was feeling quite brave. Like, I had this big thick coat on, I was like, okay, you can put it on my arm there, like that's there, because I think when things are moving, because if it was running around I couldn't cope, but because it was very still, he put it, wait.
That's okay.
I'm expecting it.
Oh, no problem. Better not be a spider delivery.
Hello?
But yeah, no, but snakes I'm fine with, lizards and critters, just not spiders.
Same here with spiders. I'm okay with spiders if somebody said there's one over there. Then I can secretly look.
I'd have my eye on it the whole time. I would know. I can spot them in a room. If there's one spider, I'll find it.
You can't you? I'm not aware.
Yeah.
But if somebody said, don't look on your shoulder, that would freak me out. If I don't know where it is, then I'm not happy.
One of the people at work the other day came up to me and she went like this, look at this, in my face, in the kitchen. Well, I was in the kitchen just having my lunch, and all the office stuff were just behind. And I was like, like a proper horror scream. She was like, I wish I'd filmed that. I did not expect that reaction. She had like this fake plastic bug in her hand, like from a Christmas cracker or something. Don't know why she had it. And she was like, that is the best reaction. Like, what did you expect? It's like a bug.
So everybody will be trying that.
Well, the office were like, what happened? The CEO's in there going...
Here's a question that I've always wanted to ask, like, everybody. The whole political correctness thing, this, that, and the other. The phrase actor or actress?
Actress.
Is it actress? Because some
It's
people
for me.
get really offended by
I'm not a feminist.
I'm an actor, so I'm never actually sure which title is acceptable.
Well, if they were a waiter or a waitress, would they be offended if they were called a waitress?
I don't know, I think somebody would be. I don't know, it's a very confusing world.
I'm really not a feminist. I mean, I'm like anti. I believe in equal rights. So yeah, if you're doing the same job, you should get paid the same wage, that kind of thing. I believe in that. I believe people should have choices. I think it's just got to the point where it's just getting too silly.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, yeah, I think men and women are different for different reasons. Like, people will stop breeding because men won't be interested in women because women are like too independent. They're going to be too independent. They're not interested. Yeah, I'm just like, oh no.
But now I've been told off. It's like, I can hold it up for myself.
I mean, yeah, you can, but it's nice if somebody does it. It's not.
It's like, I don't care if you're male, female, child, Chihuahua or whatever. If you're behind it, I'll hold the door open. It's just me being nice. But now I've been told
this is it. No, I'm definitely an actress.
Because I think that some of the tweets I'd referred to as actor, this, that, and the other. And I need to find out what the correct term is, because it gets
some people may have an issue. I'm just not one of them. There's bigger things in the world to worry about than whether you're called an actor or an actress.
Yeah, it is. Like tornadoes and
exactly
spiders and stuff like that. So.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly. Fox hunting, canned hunting, lots of things.
What are the biggest issues that you think that that you personally have, not issues with people, but like you mentioned fox hunting and stuff, what are the things where you're like, right, that needs sorting out? Fox hunting,
all sorts of things like that. I mean, yeah, come on, in this day and age, it's not a sport. A sport is football. A sport is something you go running. That's sport. Sport is something, for me, it's something that's active. I mean, people call fishing a sport. It's not a sport. You're sitting there with a rod dangling a worm in the water and a fish is catching it and you're pulling it out, it can't breathe, and you're throwing it back, and what is the point in that?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not even eating it. I don't eat them, but if people do, they do. It's just silly. And then fox hunting, I mean, what's the sport? I mean, if you want to go and ride a horse, go and ride a horse, but it's dogs ripping foxes apart and terrifying them. How is that a sport? And in a time like this 21st century, and that is still even on the agenda. I mean, if someone's policy is thinking about bringing that back, you're wasting time that could be spent on something that people need. And you're wasting your time on trying to bring something like fox hunting back. That's absolutely ridiculous.
It shouldn't even be a discussion.
It shouldn't be a discussion. It should be something that is so far behind us, and people should have come so much further forward that they shouldn't. I can't even grasp how people think that it's okay, or any of them. I mean, how do you? I mean, in the things like the canned hunting or people, trophy hunting. Like, how is it a trophy? You've shot a complete innocent. Like, if you want to go up against a lion without a gun and you want to do it with your bare hands,
good luck.
Then good luck.
Yeah.
You'll probably lose, but good luck. Then it's a fair fight. But you're going up against a lion with a gun just to take a picture of a dead lion. Doesn't.
So
go on safari, keep your distance, take photographs of it.
Yeah, if you're going to shoot an animal,
I mean, then you've seen it. I mean, I think you've got to be a psychopath to do anything like that to animals. I mean, there's all kinds of animal cruelty. Like, you can't be right in the head if you do these things. Like, there's something wrong with you. But they even say, like, children that are cruel to animals could turn out to be psychopaths.
Potentially turn into serial killers.
So what about adults that are cruel to animals?
They're already psychopaths.
You're a psychopath.
They're already one, yeah.
Lock them up. Feed them to the lions. I think that would be quite nice. That would be calmer.
Be a sport I'd watch.
That would be calmer.
Can we watch poachers being fed to animals? That would be okay.
Yeah.
That's a sport. I'd watch that one.
There's a film in that.
There is a film somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe even an animated one somehow. We could somehow.
I could voice.
could voice
my character, but all those kinds of things for me.
I don't want to end on a grim note.
No, isn't it? I'm not really a people person, but I'm like, animals. Yeah, let's talk about something else.
We like that sort of in films where, I used to watch The Walking Dead, which I jumped back into, and I have this sort of love-hate relationship with that show. And I don't know why I watch it, but I end up watching it. I think it's because everybody else watches it.
Yeah, I started at the beginning. I've got to say, I'm not a zombie fan. I love vampires. Mm-hmm. I love werewolves. I love like supernatural films. Even though I don't believe in ghosts, I try. Like, I've done ghost hunts and things, and I've never seen one, and I kind of need to if I'm to believe it. So something needs to happen. But yeah, there's the odd zombie thing that I quite like, but generally as well, I think The Walking Dead actually is one of the things I did like, but I haven't continued watching it. I watched the first season. I'll get round to it. But it's like, there's a lot of things that tend not to love. I can't get into Game of Thrones.
Really?
No. I've watched the first 3 episodes 3 times and I just can't. And again, everyone's like, it's right up your street, why wouldn't you like it? And
yeah, I don't know.
I think I need to,
I just don't like it.
Yeah, I think maybe I need to give it another chance. And everyone says, watch the first season, then you'll get into it. So maybe there's that.
I think with The Walking Dead, not Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, if you watch the first 6 episodes and you don't like it,
then maybe I need to watch a few more.
But it does take.
But The Walking Dead I did like, and I do want to kind of find some time to sit and watch the rest of that.
But there was an episode, I'd watched it from the beginning, and I think it's probably about the 5th season, so it's quite a long way in. And countless amount of people have been killed. And you're like, okay. And some main characters have been killed. I quite like them, and they're gone. And there was a gorgeous scene with a horse.
Oh, please tell me you didn't get killed.
Where they walked in, they were being chased by zombies, and they walked in and they encountered this horse that was just eating grass. And it was like, it just slowed the whole show down and showed that there was in fact hope. And it was nice, and this horse was just oblivious to this whole zombie apocalypse. And you're like, I really like this show now.
Yeah.
It's great, and there is hope, and this animal is this gorgeous animal, and it's running around. It's survived apocalypse. It's great. So they run off, and then later on they come back in, and the zombies eating a horse, and I'm like, right, I'm done.
Do you know, I
switched it off, and I'm
do you
like,
know what? I can't even
okay.
cope with watching Shrek in the little scene where the bird sings, and I'm like,
Horrified.
why did that have to happen? This is a kids' film. This is terrifying. This is awful.
It's like, no need for that. Let's get this thing re-edited now.
Yeah,
But
I think some kids' films though, you think, well, actually, that's quite scary. The My Little Pony movie. That was one of the first horror films I ever saw. No, don't laugh.
Why is that horror movie?
Because there is this big spider that's huge, and it has this huge web, and then the ponies get caught. They do realise if you tickle it, then they get free.
Okay.
But I'm not going to get that close to the spider and try and tickle it if it's trying to eat me. But so that was quite scary, and had all these eyes. And then there's witches in it, and they create this purple stuff called schmooze, and it's like purple cement, and the ponies get stuck in it. It's quite scary.
Is it worse?
The witches have got these little like goblin-y, not like I don't know, they have like trolley type things. Is it worse than Never Ending Story? It's quite scary. It's animated.
Sinks. You know, that's pretty traumatic.
It's quite dramatic.
So it's kind of like in films where humans get killed, you know. But when
Watership
anything
Down.
happens to an animal, Watership Down is a fantastic one. Annette was supposed to go watch that for her 7th birthday, was it?
Something like that, yeah.
And it was a family trip. It was when it was out at the cinema, and it was like, hey, go watch this animated thing with rabbits. And Annette didn't go, but everybody else went. And a couple of years back, when it was her birthday, I purchased a DVD of Watership Down.
Did you cry?
Sat down and watched it. She's like, this isn't a kid's film. You were horrified.
Yes, but then like, yeah, they're quite scary. I think some kids' films are quite scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was horrified.
You were horrified.
Right.
I wouldn't have wanted to watch this when I was 7.
No, I think
quite
I
grim.
probably was very young when I saw it. Beautiful song though.
Yeah.
Bright Eyes.
So you mentioned, right, favourite vampire film.
Favourite vampire film?
Or which one
Oh.
springs to mind when you think vampire movie? I'm going to go for, I'm torn between Lost Boys and
Lost
Interview with a
Boys.
Vampire.
It's gotta be my
No, Lost
But
Boys.
probably
Lost
Lost Boys, I
Boys.
think.
The 80s of it. That's like saying, like, what if someone remade Lost Boys? You can't do it.
They've done sequels, which apparently are not very good. But I've not watched them.
I didn't mind the second one if you look at it as a completely different film.
Right.
If you don't like, because it's not trying to be the same thing. So then it's like, okay, if as a completely separate vampire film, it's okay, but it's not. It's not good. Fright Night,
Yeah.
which I saw the
or
remake
original?
before the original.
Yeah.
But then watching the original, I was like, why did they remake this? I mean, the remake's a good film in itself. And especially for me, because I hadn't seen the original, I'm looking at it from a different perspective, as if, you know, when I watched it, and it's kind of, I've seen the original. So yeah, I like the remake, and then I watched the original. I was like, this is just so much better, even though now maybe dated.
Yeah.
So much better.
Still good.
So yeah, Fright Night, Interview with a Vampire. There is a film called Suck that I really like. Have you seen it?
I've heard of it,
It's got like Iggy Pop in it. It's got like, that's pretty cool. And Vamp. I quite
Grace
like.
Jones.
There's too many vampire films that are good.
Yeah.
I like Queen of the Damned. Yeah, a lot of vampire films.
Favourite ghosty film?
Favourite ghosty film.
I'm going to go for The Changeling, which is a really good film from
Yeah,
I think
that's
very
good.
early 80s with George C. Scott, which
Creepy,
scares the
creepy.
crap out of that whole banging on the pipes thing. It's still on there.
It is creepy.
I like The Others.
The Others is good.
Yeah, how that's even a 12 certificate, I don't know.
Let me see. This is when you put me on the spot, and I'm like, I can't think of any. I quite liked Boo. I like The Haunting.
It's for the original Poltergeist. Not a massive fan.
Well,
of the
I
remake,
saw
but-
that way later, and it didn't really
it's
scare me.
kind of
Like,
dated,
Exorcist didn't really
isn't it?
scare me. Yeah, I mean, I liked Annabelle. I like The Conjuring. I like that kind of like
Conjuring's good.
The Conjuring. I ended up I was sitting with my ex watching it, and he jumped, smacked me in the face, and ended up with a bruise.
Oh.
It's like a black eye. But then I did actually get him back. I think he had to go to bed because he was getting up for work, and I walked the dogs. And then, you know, there's like that little musical box thing. I like went upstairs to take my makeup stuff, and I was like, on my dressing table there's this doll that my mum got me. It's like you wind it up, and he was like kind of nearly asleep. So I was like, So I wound it up and then got into bed and had it. And then waited a little while and then let it go. He's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would you do this? I was like, it's the best trick I've played. But we used to do, we're quite good at that. We still do that, play tricks. So, yeah. So, but that I like things that make you jump. I like that suspense and then you jump. I hate it at the end of the film if I'm still terrified. I have to kind of get some kind of outcome. Yeah, I love Paranormal Activity when that came out. And even some of the sequels of that were still... Because sometimes things go on, sometimes things just go on too long. But, yeah, I quite like those.
So you managed to come up with a few. Favorite werewolf, other than Bad Moon Rising, of course.
Favorite werewolf being, American Werewolf in London and Dog Soldiers. Yeah. Which another ex actually, I remember back in the days of Blockbuster, he'd rented it, and I always thought, it's going to be like an army film. I thought it was because soldiers. I thought it was going to be some war film that I didn't really want to watch, and he was in the army at the time, so I thought he'd got that to watch, and I was like, and then it was one of the best films I've ever seen, a werewolf film. He was like, see, all right.
So I told him, okay.
Yeah, I actually watched it a while ago, and I kind of looked at my dogs and I was like, I'm a bit scared to go to bed in case my dog's turned into a werewolf. I lost the plot. I think I turned it off.
Which of your dogs would make the better werewolf, do you think?
She's more evil. Yeah. The Chihuahua. Never underestimate a Chihuahua. They're, feisty. You could just escape though, running up the top of Snowdon and she won't come get you. So I've got in my wardrobe, I've got a trapdoor I could jump out. Yeah. Break my legs jumping through the ceiling to downstairs, but it's a fire. It's actually a fire escape. There used to be a ladder, but I removed the ladder because it was in the way. So I figured I could jump if I had to. If there's a fire, which I hope there isn't, I'll jump. But
so that's a few films to watch.
And Boo. Have you seen Boo? It's a film called Boo. No. Now, I really liked it, and it did freak me out. And I know other people who didn't really like it, but that was actually filmed at Linda Vista, where I filmed Axe to Grind. So part of the hospital set is there. So I didn't know that was... I watched it years before I filmed, and I only kind of recently realised that. So that's quite cool.
Because we did a trip around London a couple of years back, and we just went around all these different places that were film locations, that had been used in Trainspotting and Batman and 28 Days Later.
28 Days Later was not far from here, a lot of it. They filmed some, I think, around 3 Mills, and then there's an old building. I don't know if it's used now. It's apartments. And it's there's a tube... high up, you'll see it in the film and you're like, why would people build this? It's like a bridge between these two, a million miles up, and that's very visible in 28 Days Later. So that was my drive to drama school every day, my friend's drive. I sold my car to afford to go to drama school at the time, so my friend used to drive me. It's walkable. I could have walked.
It served you well, though.
It served me well. So I now have a car again.
If you could go back to the beginning of your career and give yourself any advice, would you, or are you
well, I think when I left school I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and kind of being in Norfolk, there's no industry for this kind of thing, and it's you don't know how to get started. I think living in London, you might know people who know people, that someone's got advice for you, but I don't come from that world. So I went to college and I did beauty to start with, and then I studied fashion. I did 4 years, and then I started modelling, and I just kind of fell into it that way. And then from modelling I ended up in London a lot, and then obviously you meet people, and then this is when I ended up moving to London with the modelling, and then so everything is kind of been a natural progression, the path I've kind of taken. But yeah, it's just I didn't really know what to do, so I wish I'd maybe known then, and I'd have I think I probably still would have done the fashion. I gave up my HND in the end because I was working too much, so I wish I'd kind of finished that because I hate leaving things unfinished. And then I wish maybe gone down the performing arts route then, rather than waited till later. I don't regret modelling. I still model now, probably more. I'm doing a bit more now actually, but kind of just different stuff. So.
There is, because there's a lot of the photo shoots are going up on Instagram. And
I'm kind of just I thought while I still can, and people that kind of want to book me for stuff, because I didn't for a long time, so I was just too busy, and then I kind of let it take a backseat. But now, I kind of like doing both. I like doing different things. I get bored doing one thing, so. But then I kind of also wish I'd maybe done something a bit more academic. I'd like to have a degree in something kind of cool. There's still time. I don't know. I think I would have. I don't know. I always want to do everything.
I'm like that. I'd love to have gone back and learned something
Yeah.
But I don't know what
I
that
keep thinking like
is,
doing something
so-
like geology, but to do with jewellery, because I like jewellery. But, I mean, am I ever going to be a jeweller? Probably not, because I'm kind of too busy for everything else. But, you know...
Until we can invent more hours
more hours of the day, more days of the week. Or if we can clone me, and I can have two of me to do the stuff.
There's a film in there as well, somehow.
Yeah.
An animated one. Or,
just literally to like get all the jobs done.
But I'm looking forward to watching your show reel when you get it done.
When I get it done. I promise I'll do it.
Not enough hours in the day.
No, well, I need to sit as well and go through everything and like pick out the sections I want, and like so someone knows they don't have to watch all my films and be like, what do we do?
I mean, do you have all the ones that are out on DVD or digital?
I have copies of most of it. I mean, they'll be on like disc somewhere, chucked in a cupboard, and I'd have to dig deep to find them. But there'll be some. There'll be somewhere there. Yeah, somewhere in the. Like I've got all sorts. Like when I moved to London, I moved from a house to an apartment, so I kind of have all this stuff, and I've decluttered. No matter how much I declutter, I accumulate. Yeah. Like I'll go home and then my mum will send me with like 6 bags of stuff. Where am I going to put this stuff? Or I just end up with stuff. I need like to make my like millions so I can have a mansion and just fill it with stuff.
Yeah,
probably still won't be big enough. I'd fill.
Just fill it.
I need something else. Yeah. Yeah.
But I sort of want to end by thanking you for taking some time out to sit down and have a conversation, because we've met on a couple of occasions, but you've always been super busy to actually sit down and have a lengthy conversation about what you've been up to and how you got here and all the films and stuff you've been working on. But it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Cool.